Hi darlings, welcome back to my makeup garden. It's Liz. So recently Mauve Beauty had a sale on their site for Black Friday and I took advantage of it. So I picked up 8 of the cream clay eyeshadows. So these are a cream formula and they're sold individually, or you can do a build a palette feature, which is what I did. So let me open this up. So this is modular. It's completely modular. So each of these is an individual pan, and I selected 8 colors that, I thought were cool. And the shade names are on the back of these, and it's actually modular. So this piece right here actually lifts up. Try not to drop everything. Actually lifts up, and each of these pans pops in here. So there is one side that has a little bit of a wider lip than the other, and you can just line them up, and then this pops down. And then this goes on top. So it's not magnetic at all. They just kind of notch in there. So we're going to take a look at these today, and we're going to do eye swatches because I haven't done an eye swatching in a long time. So this is a cream formula, and I've only played with one of the shades so far, but what I did notice is that these do not set down. So at least not the color that I used. So the first time I applied it with a brush, and it blended out beautifully, no issues whatsoever. But today I want to use my fingers to do these, and I figure I'll just do one color on each eye. So I'm going to start off on the bottom here with this pink color. Now this is called M88, and it is a soft pink, almost cool toned. I'm just going to apply with my fingers, so I'm going to go in here, and let's go ahead and put this on this eye. I'm not wearing anything on my eyes right now. I am only wearing just a little bit of mascara. And originally I got these to use as eyeshadow bases because basically Basket, Case Beauty, and Smitty, they sold me. But I thought they were really pretty on their own. Now I did wear this shade on its own all day, and I had minimal creasing considering that's a cream shadow. Now these are not transfer proof, so they don't dry down to a powder. It's not that kind of formula. But see, and it's just a really kind of soft blended creamy appearance. I think if you have a lot of texture on your eye, you might actually like these. And so this is that first color. It's that soft kind of baby pink. And that's called M88. Yeah. So it's just pretty soft. All right, I think if you set these down with a transparent powder, you'll be just fine. I have yet to experiment with that, just full transparency. But today we're just going to do eye swatches, okay? All right, so the next color I want to play with is going to be this one here. And this is called M157. And I'm just going to go in again, same thing with my finger. We're just going to apply that on this side here. When I saw this color on somebody else's eye, I was like, oh my God, look at it. And I'm just literally just tapping, tappa. Obviously that got a little messy right there, but that's okay. Let's see. Now I know you can put these on with your finger, or you can blend them out with a brush. I just, for the sake of trying them out, want to try it with my finger. Honestly, that didn't do too bad. I made a bit of a mess in the beginning, but that's okay. But look how pretty it is. Now, I live in a hot, humid climate. I live in Florida. I know. Look. Just for transparency's sake. I do think the color's quite pretty. I think this would have blended better with a brush, more better than a finger. But I'm also not used to applying it with my finger, so take that with a grain of salt, okay? There's one color. And one color. I think this would make a really pretty eye primer, just kind of like a base, which is really what I'm after. So let's go ahead and take this off. Okay, so those two are removed. Let's go ahead and play with a couple more. So this is a shimmer, and I wasn't sure how this would work because when I wore these all day without setting them down, I wore this color, which goes on like a matte color, and it's really pretty on. But if you're going to set these down, I'm not sure how the shimmers would work in that regard. Let's go into the shade. This is a shimmery one. You can see it's not crazy, vibrant. So I am really curious how this is going to sit on the eye. And let's go ahead and put this here and just kind of see. Oh, that's pretty. It's really subtle. So this is shade M146. And if these have common color names, I don't know what they are. That's just kind of what they're listed at. They do feel really soft, like emollient under the finger. This one needs to be warmed up a little bit more. I think that's really subtle. Really subtle, really pretty. Kind of like a pretty one and done. I just think that's pretty, honestly. You can see the shimmer when I get close to the camera. Okay, and last on this half of the palette, we have this shade here. Now this is M143, and we're gonna go ahead and put that on this eye here. And hopefully I do a better job than I did last time. So I remember this being just kind of like a dark, it wasn't quite black, but it certainly looks black in the pan. Now let's find out. Let me grab my mirror so I can see. Now, if it's a good black base, I would love that for like a smoky eye or whatever. Now, originally I got these and I thought they would make a really pretty base for multi-chromes, but I also thought that they would be pretty just kind of like in everyday looks. When I got this black shade, when I picked it out, I was originally thinking about a really dark smoky eye, like a true smoky eye with silver. And I thought this would make a good base for that. So let's go ahead, let's tappa, blend this out a little bit. Okay. See, I think that would be good for that. What do you think? Now, good, like I said, I plan to use these as bases and maybe on their own once in a while. Like, especially in the winter time when things aren't quite so humid, but... Now, just for context, I have normal combo skin. So here's that shade. I think it works well as a base. I don't know how this would look on its own. This one is not quite like solidly matte black either. It has a little bit of a sheen to it. It's not almost like a satin maybe. But yeah, so that is that black shade. And excuse me, that shade is M143. Is that right? Yeah, M143. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so let me go ahead and take these off and we'll move on to the next side. Okay. So the next shade I stalked, I can't tell you how long. It's like over a month I stalked this shade, and that's this green here. I am a sucker for this kind of a green. So this is shade M109. Right? Yeah, M109, and we're going to put that right here. Now, when I applied this last time, I used a Glam Light brush, and it was one of the Michaela ones, and it worked beautifully. Blended out, no issues. And it wore all day fine. It was a little bit creasy by the end of the night, but that was okay. Like, look at it. Just this color. This color is, this one's fire. I'm going to put this underneath like an olivey green smoky eye, right? But honestly, like on its own, I might just set this down with some translucent powder and wear this color on its own. It's pretty unique in my collection, but yeah, it's real pretty. See what I mean by this particular one just like blended really easily. So I'm very pleased with that. This one specifically, which is M109. Okay. And then there's, next to it, I put this kind of deeper olivey green. It's almost like a, I don't want to call it a bluer toned olive, but we're going to take this one, which is here. See what I mean by that though? It is more of like a bluer olive or like a foresty green. We're going to put that on this side. And this is shade M106. So M106 is this one. All right, I'm trying not to make too much of a mess on myself, but, right? But like, just see what I mean? All right. And see how this one looks like it dried down a little bit, but it doesn't, it's not completely transfer proof either. So I will say, like, when I wore it, I didn't have issues as long as I didn't like rub my eye, but if I rubbed my eye, forget it. because it's still transferred, but I didn't set it down. I was just doing like kind of a wear test, you know? And next time I'm going to try setting it down with some translucent powder. But for the sake of today, we're just doing some eye swatches, right? Great. And try not to make too much of a mess. But also, like, it's fine if we make a mess. Okay, so this is M106. I think this would be a really fun smoky, honestly. Okay, so that's M106. Now you can see where this one would crease. But you see this one? Doesn't really look like it's doing much, right? I know, this one. Okay, let's take these off and let's do the last two. Okay, so last but not least, we have these two shades here. So we're gonna go ahead and go into this yellow, and the yellow is shade M121. And we're just gonna, again, go into this. Now we have had a lot of temperature fluctuations here. It went from being like 85 degrees to being like 50 degrees, like within a couple of days. So mine was delivered in that time period, and mine did start to sweat a little bit. It's not anything that has, whoa, look how pigmented that is. It's not anything that impacted the performance of it, but I figured I would mention it because it was a thing. And yeah, oh my. I'm really excited for how like pigmented this one is. Okay. I like it a lot, actually. And also, good job me picking this color, because I think this is a good color on me. So this is M15121. Just that light yellow. I appreciate how pigmented that is. And I didn't re-dip my finger in. This is just kind of like that one dip. So if I wanted to build that color up, I'm sure I could. Let's see. I don't want to do too much because it's a cream, but also, yeah. So if this would make a good yellow base, or I could set this with translucent powder. Maybe we'll try that. Do I have any translucent powder? I think I only have pink powder right now. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. And last but not least is this olive green here. This is shade 156. And let's just put that all over here. Ooh, pretty. Now, I think they had 38 colors, 31 colors, something. It was a lot. I think it was like 38 colors available in these. And originally, I didn't intend to get the shimmer. Originally, I was going to just get all mattes. And I thought I picked the slate gray color. Totally didn't. But the nice thing is if I decide I don't like it, I can just pop that color out and replace it with one that I do want. So I guess that's the nice side about like modular things, is that you have options. Okay. And this is that last green. I like this one. This is 156. Okay. So these are the Mauve Beauty cream clays. In case you were curious about them, I was curious about them and I wanted to try them. And I really haven't had a lot of time to do any filming. So I wanted to just go ahead and start playing with them, and let's just do it. Now let me go ahead and grab some setting powder, and we will try setting this to see if there's any transfer after I add a little setting powder. So I don't have a transparent powder here, but I do have a pink powder, and I have this one by Artitude. So let me grab a brush, and we're gonna go ahead and apply that on here, and let's see if that helps with like setting it down. So this is not transfer proof, like I said. So let's grab a brush. Let me see what would be a good fit for this. I'm kind of thinking something like this, just kind of a fluffy brush would be good. So let me make sure there's no creases. And then let's set it, shall we? Let's keep my eyes closed for a moment. Okay. Now this is a pink powder, so it might change the color a little bit, but this is an experiment, okay? Let's try it with just a little bit. Add a little bit of translucent. Well, this isn't translucent. This is a pink powder, but you get what I mean. And let's see what happens. I don't know if I should let this bake or what I should let this do. Should I pat it on with my finger? We're just experimenting right now. Okay. Tap that on a little bit. Now the good news is I didn't have any transfers. So I think if you set these down, you might be safe. You might be safe. Let's add some to the green side and then we'll see how it goes. Now, if you're going for that sheen that comes naturally on it, then you probably would not want to set these down. I wonder how these would look sit down with a powdered highlighter. I wonder how pretty that would be. I bet that would be really pretty. I got some Made by Mitchell in the mystery, oh, too much, way too much in the mystery box. And I think that would be pretty. Let's set it down. Let me see if I can brush some of this off. I don't want all that on there, because I put too much. Okay, so did I put too much on this one? Maybe a little bit. Let's wipe off my finger and let's see if this is gonna transfer, right? So let me brush off any extra. I did just dust off the brush there. Okay, let's see. So here's my finger, okay? A little bit of staining, but not anything crazy. Let's just push down hard. Okay, let's try this finger. Clean. Touch all up on there. Pretty good. Everywhere that's set down didn't transfer. So I think if you set these down, they're not going to go anywhere, which is really exciting. Just make sure you use a transparent setting powder or it'll shift the color a little bit. I used a pink one, but you get the gist. All right, darlings, and that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to share these with you and try it because I've been stalking them online for a while and I was real curious. So I had to try them with you. But yeah, I think they'll make good eyeshadow bases or a good starting point. Even set down on their own, I think they're just fine, especially this green color. I'm going to set this bitch down. And it's going to be great. But anyway, I love your faces. Thank you for watching. And this is from the Mauve Beauty. Tell me if you've ever heard of them. It's kind of new to me. I was going to order their lipstick too, and then I forgot. So maybe that'll have to be another time. But it was a good deal. It was like $100 off when I bought it because they're not cheap on their own. But I wanted to try it. And like I said, there's like 38 colors to choose from. So I may end up swapping something out with a different color. But these were the ones I chose initially. And yeah, pretty cool. I have powder all over my face. I'm going to go wash my face now and go to bed. And you have a great night. And comment below and tell me what color it was your favorite of the eye swatches. And yeah, I will see you on the next one. Bye. Also, I don't want to jinx myself, but like right before I started filming, I saw that I hit 800 subscribers. And I don't want to jinx myself because when that happens, people always like the number goes back down and then it fluctuates back up. But for right now, we're going to celebrate 800. So thank you. And I love your faces. And thanks for being here and supporting me and all that fun stuff. Okay, bye.